just wanted to share a few words with everybody and say a few things about his life. So, go ahead, Dad.
Well, I just wanted to say that when Tim, my son, picked this business, working on cars, we thought, well, he'd do good. Well, in the beginning it ain't too good, but it's getting better. But I mean, there's all kinds of friends come out of the woodwork and want to be his buddy because they want free auto repair. And then you got certain people who don't want to pay. He works on the car and they'll make payments, and that never really works out. You know, a lot of them they just never come back. And but it was kind of funny a few years ago. There was this guy. I don't know how it came about, but kind of curious. He wanted to be co-manager. He was an idiot. And he claimed he was co-manager of my son's business, and he was an idiot. I couldn't believe how stupid he was, but he was co-manager. I don't know how. I don't know how that came about, but he treated me like shit, and he kissed my son's ass. I don't know what to think of that. I was a homeowner, I don't know. I didn't know what to think of this guy. I got tired of dealing with him. Anyways, seen a pile of steel in the backyard and asked my son if he wanted it. He said no, so he figured it was going to be his. So he told me, he said, I told Tim that I'm going to go haul that steel away. Oh yeah. I thought to myself, yeah, he's going to haul it away and scrap it and cash it up, get all the money, fill his pockets up with money, haul my steel away. You know, I couldn't believe what an idiot he was. Then he come up with this. I got a kick out of this one. He said, Tim had 2 4-wheel drive trucks, 2 snow plows. He said, I'm going to drive that truck and I'm going to plow snow with that, and Tim's going to plow snow with the other truck. And I just could not believe all the shit he come up with. I mean, you know, I just said to myself, that ain't going to happen. And then what really got me, you might think this is stupid, but I had this blue bowl sitting by the house plugged in for cats, and, you know, kept the water thawed out. This idiot walked up there, took the bowl, dumped it, and moved it. And I said, what are you doing? He says, it's in the way. It's my house, not his. Telling me it's in the way. I was about ready to let loose on him, and I controlled myself. I wish I didn't. But then in time, I put the bowl back, and I was going to tell him that bowl moves again. But then I decided, well, I didn't do that. I kind of wish in a way I would have done something different, but I wish I would have told him, there's a driveway, get out, don't ever come back. Because I'd come home from town, him and his girlfriend would be here, have to deal with them. Oh, first they wanted to raise chickens on my property and buy their own food. Well, if you do that, it's going to cost you more than what you pay in a store. Oh, then they come up with another plan. They wanted to plant a garden here. Okay? Well, then that way it gives them an excuse to come over every day and check on their garden. Okay? Well, I got a lot of shade trees around here. Believe it or not, I did grow some until my son hired this drunk down the road, and that's the only thing he thinks about is beer money. Well, he'd weed whip the yard, and he kept weed whipping around that garden. The garden kept disappearing. He weed whipped too far. Pretty soon that garden was gone. That's what an idiot he is. Then Tim hired him to clean up a mess. I come home from town, and this idiot has got an axe and he's chopping up good cedar posts into firewood, like he's doing me a favor. I couldn't believe my eyes. I didn't waste my time telling him there was one good post left. I grabbed that and got that out of there, but I saved one. I don't know how many chopped up. And I'm saying to myself, I'm cutting this, he's cutting this up, and now I've got to burn it. That's all I can do with it. You know, if I need more cedar posts, I gotta go buy them, because this idiot chopped them up. And then we had him clean up a wood pile, and there was a good chair that you sit on, and I have no idea why he did it. He took the chainsaw and cut that up. Just cut it up. I have no clue what goes on in that mind, I tell you. But anyways, I got so tired of dealing with this guy that was co-manager of Tim's business, and I come home from town, my daughter-in-law was with me, and I'm pulling all the bags of groceries and stuff out of the car. He walks up there, he says, looking down like he's gonna help me, and I says, I said, I don't want your fucking help. I act like a grumpy old man, and his girlfriend, she did not know what to think. My daughter-in-law was laughing her ass off at, but anyways, it didn't take long. He was gone, and my son told me, he said, well, my dad's retired. He don't want anybody here. So, But anyways, when Tim first got into business, I got kind of a kick out of this one. But this guy comes in here at 10 o'clock at night. Apparently his mother was paying for the auto repair. He brings the pregnant for him. He didn't do much, but when he got done, he kept hanging around. Tim couldn't figure it out. Well, guess what? He said my gas tank's on empty. So my son had to put gas in his truck to get the loser out of here. I mean, it's just, you know what I mean? It's just, there's lots of them. And then there was another guy. He was buddying up with my son. I told him what he's after, free auto repair. Okay? He did, and anyways, he wanted Tim to work on his truck for free. And Tim said, well, why would I work on your truck for free? Why would I push a paid job away, push it out of the way, and work on your truck for free? And then the guy said, well, that's why I went to a garage in town, and I paid $750. I mean, I don't get it. He could have paid Tim $100, but oh no, he'd rather pay $750. And I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. There's lots of them. Believe it or not, you'd be surprised how many idiots there are out there. So then he's got tools. He was putting 4 plugs in his truck. Okay. Well, he didn't run to the other 4. So he went to a garage and gave them the plugs. They charged him $270 for 4 plugs. I mean, it probably took him a half hour. Instead of paying my son some small amount, probably less than 100, whatever it is, he'd rather pay $270. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The idiots you run into, it's just never ending. But yet, in time, Tim got some good customers. I mean, they think the world of him, and he'll give them all kinds of good. I'm on dialysis, and guess how that came about? I went to, I could probably give you the doctor's name because he's retired now, so I went to Romana, Dr. Romana. Well, I ended up, I was drinking aloe vera juice from Myers, and it must have been a bad batch, that's the only thing I can think of, but it caused me to have a lot of pain down in my bladder, ended up peeing blood. Well, I probably should have went to a Flint hospital, but no, I went to a Lapeer hospital. I mean, nothing against them. It's just this idiot works, this doc. Anyways, I made it to the pee and blood part. Well, my family doctor said, well, it'd be a good time for Rhonda to check and see if you got cancer. And I don't know why I was stupid enough to go along with this. He wanted to do it in the operating room. So I went to the operating room, and I get out, and I'm in agonizing pain. So whenever you can mess with your prostate, your end of your thing down, I'm serious. It was agonizing pain. Then the moron comes to my room and says, oh, I shoved stents up in your kidneys. Why'd you do that? Oh, I was trained to do that. So I said to myself, now I got stents up in my kidneys that I don't need. Because the moron shoved stents up in my kidneys that I don't, he didn't tell me he was going to do it. He just did it. Money. He wanted to make some money. So then I get out of the hospital, and then him or his nurse talked me into doing a microwave on my prostate. Okay? Oh, it's not going to hurt. you know, most people don't hurt much. Well, guess what? I'm going in there and they stick something, they heat up your prostate. They like cook it. It says because your prostate's 5 times the normal size, which I never knew, you know, it's gonna hurt. Well, the pain kept increasing, and I'm serious, the pain got bad. And this doctor comes back in there laughing at me. Oh fuck, he was tickled to death to see me in agonizing pain. He just loved it. I mean, laughing and you know, I mean, it was something else, okay? So I make it through that. Guess what? It didn't work. Then the doctor says, well, you know, it's 1 out of 3 odds it won't work. Well, you didn't tell me those odds before I did it. Well, there's odds with everything. Oh yeah, he makes money off that, okay? So then my family doctor said, what you need to do, have prostate surgery. I said, well, I'd rather go to Flint. Well, no, he said, he said, you may get lost in the shuffle, you might as well get it done. So I let this idiot do it. Well, he did it. I mean, that worked out good, okay? I mean, it's kind of, you know, I tell you, I could pee good after that. But anyways, I healed up from that, okay? Well, I still had the stents in me. Don't forget that. He ain't gonna pull those stents off, not even doing surgery. Oh, no, he could have done it, but oh no, he can't do that. So he said, well, they gotta come out in 6 months. Well, going through all the pain of prostate surgery, I kept putting it off. My family doctor, he didn't push it. Years went by, and the family doctor didn't say anything, which he should have. Well, my stupid ass left him in for 7 years. They screwed my kidneys up really good. They did a real job, you know. Well, and anyways, infection set in. So I went to Liverpool Hospital again, so that idiot there, he pulled those stents out and put more back in. He wasn't gonna pull them out and leave them out, because if he did that, he stopped making money. It's all about money. He don't care who he murders, it means nothing. Anyways, so 5 months later, I said, I had a pain in my bladder and I was drinking aloe vera juice. I ordered it from Lucky Vitamin, real cheap, but as long as I drank that, it kept the pain away. Apparently what I really had is candida infection. It's a hard infection to kill. Anyways, 5 months later, I said, I want these stents out. Well, yeah, I'm gonna pull them out, but I gotta put more back in. Okay? So then I wanted to go to Flint. I tried making the appointment myself, but they said my family doctor has to do it. So I told him to do it. Well, guess what? He didn't do it. He sent me to another doctor in Lapeer, and I don't know if I should bring up his name because he's still murdering people for a living. But if you see a doctor that talks out of the side of his mouth really bad, you want to run like hell. Because he'll screw you over and murder you. He means nothing. So anyways, I get this doctor thinking he's going to help me. Wrong. He's worse. So I'm going in the operating room. I mean, I could have done it in his office, which would have been a smarter thing to do. Or I should have went to a Flint hospital. At least I could have got with one of those doctors, better ones. But I didn't think. It's one of those things you do and you can't go back in time. So I'm all ready to go in the operating room. He comes to he says, well, while I'm in there, I'm going to use my laser on you. I said, don't use your laser. Just pull this down. So, oh, I'm going to use my laser. I got a candida infection in my bladder. So this idiot goes in and uses his laser on me. Well, guess what? Open wound. Guess how the infection got in my blood? A septic shock. And I'm telling you, a septic shock was horrible. I'm fighting for my life for 2 weeks. High fevers, ice packs all over me. I mean, not eating nothing for 2 weeks. I mean, diarrhea was bad.
You were on a breathing machine for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, I was in intensive care on the ventilator for 2 days. I mean, and they figured out I was really having a problem, which I was having a hard time breathing. My cardiologist figured it out. And then, I mean, he didn't care. He made some money. That's all he cared about. And then a nurse told me his plan. I was pissed in the bed while I was going through a septic shock. Oh yeah, he was going to have another plan. He was going to run a hose out of me so I could pee in a bag for the rest of my life. Oh man, that's really something. So I had to learn. I forced myself to show that I could control it, which I did in time. But anyways, fighting for my life for 2 weeks, you know, and the most powerful antibiotics they make, that's what you had to use on me. And then 4 weeks after I got out of the hospital, had to use the same antibiotics at home for 4 weeks. Okay? Well, I made it through that, okay? Well, guess what? I can't believe how stupid I am. I mean, I wish I could, I wish somebody would kick me in the ass, but anyways, it was months later, I mean, I kept seeing this idiot, and he said, well, I want to shove stents up in your kidneys for 2 weeks to see if your kidney functions any better. Oh, I forgot to tell you, because I survived septic shock, but doctors said they lose a lot of people. A lot of people die in it, which I almost gave up, but I didn't. But anyways, I'm level 4 kidney disease. Oh, that really made me feel good, because of this idiot, now I'm level 4 kidney disease. You know, level 5, you're on dialysis. So I was close. Well, anyways, when he shoved the stents in to me, he said he'd only put them in for 2 weeks. If their kidney function is not any better, I'll pull them out. Trusted the moron. Well, 2 weeks came, he said, well, they're not doing any good, but I'm not going to pull them out. Well, the stents were poking me inside. It just kept poking me. Every move I made just kept poking me. I mean, it was the pain. I told his nurse a couple times that pain is worse than prostate surgery. They didn't care how much pain I was in. They could care less. I almost think, I don't know if he was an idiot or he deliberately put me through all that pain so he could make some more money. When he pulled the stents out in his office, it was kind of a, well, anyways, it wasn't that bad as I thought, but he pulled them out in his office. When he pulled those stents out, the pain was horrible. I thought the pain be gone. Wrong. It was horrible. And I'm serious. If I had a quarter cup or a half, a cup of fluid in my bladder, I had to pee. And when I peed, it was painful every time. Every night I had to be up 4 times every hour through the whole night. All through the day it was that way. I mean, it was just, the pain was horrible. It took me a year to figure out what not to do. In other words, I couldn't lift a gallon of water. I couldn't do anything. I avoided sitting down, but when I did, that set me back. So I was almost going to go to another doctor, Ford Hospital, someplace, get cut up down there. I mean, that was kind of a cutting job they would have done, because my neighbor, he had prostate cancer. They cut him up really good. What they did to him, they had like an inner tube down there, and the tube that from the bladder goes through it, and he had to hit a switch down there somewhere and release it for 20 seconds, and that's how he peed. So I had a hunch that's what they'd probably do it to me. So probably this moron, wanted to do that to me. So, but anyways, I just didn't know what kind of cutting job they'd be doing. I already went through prostate surgery once. I sure as hell don't want to go through it again. So I was determined to heal up on my own. Well, believe it or not, I come up with this plan and it was working. I never ever sat down. I laid down and stood up, but I never ever sat down. I mean, it took 3.5 years to heal up. And I thought, well, I was healed. There were setbacks through that time. And I'll tell you, painful setbacks. It took time but in time I healed up, but one little problem. When it comes to having sex with myself, or even a woman, that will never happen, because my prostate's blocked. I'd have to go in for surgery. I ain't with no woman, so I guess, I don't know. Apparently God does it like that, so, I've heard, I've seen near-death videos where somebody masturbated, and when they had near-death, they end up in hell. So they come back to a changed person. But like I say, everybody has to meet God someday. These 2 idiots that, I know a guy that has a business, and this guy that screwed me up, he screwed up a lot of people. And somebody's son-in-law seen him, he misdiagnosed him and killed him. A doctor could commit murder. They'd get away with it, And then I find out, the first doctor I went to, Romana, my brother, his doctor seen him, he had prostate cancer. He just kept doing stupid shit till he died. You know, it's all about making money. I mean, who do you trust nowadays? You know, you don't know if you're seeing somebody that's going to screw you over for money or a good doctor. You know, it's kind of hard to predict, but I just got lucky and got 2 of them, bad ones. Oh, and then I ended up, after making it through whenever I went to the hospital, I wasn't healed up yet. You know how they go in the hospital, oh, sit down here. I couldn't sit down. Wherever I went to a doctor's office, I couldn't sit down in the waiting room. I had to stand up. Then if I went in the office, the doctors, hey, sit here. I'm not going to sit down. Anytime, I'm terrified to sit down. But like I say, after I healed up, then I was almost healed, and then I got believe it or not, I got a candida infection in my bladder, in my kidneys. And I apparently had 1 kidney left in it, and it was shut down that kidney. And so I went into the hospital in Flint, Genesis. I went there probably a dozen times that year. The disease specialists kept trying to kill that infection, but towards the end, they finally killed it. They come up with something that killed it. Thank God, okay, after 10, anyways. And guess what? Because my kidneys kept getting shut down, I went in, believe it or not, I went in because I didn't take enough sodium, and apparently it's either bad on your heart or whatever it is, so I ended up in intensive care. I've been in intensive care a few times in Genesis Hospital, and I was the healthiest person on the floor, you know. But anyways, when they checked my kidney function, everything in the kidney function was good except for one thing. The creatinine kept increasing. Well, it was getting up there 7, 8, I don't know, but when it gets 10, my kidney doctor told my son what will happen is I'll start throwing up, then I'll go into a coma, and I'll never come back. So they waited till I got really, really close to that, and they started dialysis. Years now. I'm planning on doing home dialysis. My son's gonna do it, but I wish these morons that did this to me could go to dialysis and get needles stuck in them 3 times a week, see how they like it. I'm sure they would, you know. But I'm sure God probably has a better plan for them. You know, you can't really sue them because they pay malpractice insurance. You're not suing them. The insurance company's protecting them, so they don't get nothing. But they murder people for a living, and they think there's no consequences. Well, there is consequences. There's consequences in everything, believe it or not. I mean, whether they get it here or they meet God and end up in a bad place. I could tell you about I've seen videos of that bad place where people have been there and came back. Could I say it? Demons love to torture. If these 2 doctors end up there, they will become the patient and the demons will be the doctor. And there's no anesthesia there. They love to torture. They love to see people in pain. Okay, well anyways, there's Russia spent 24 years drilling a hole in the ground in Siberia. Okay? They went down 6.8 miles down. Well, they run something down to find the temperature, I think what the temperature is, but they run another thing down to hear the sounds. It sounds like millions of people being tortured. It's the most frightening thing I ever heard. It's called the Well to Hell. Anyways, I don't know, it scared the hell out of me. It's like, I heard that and went to God, I repent for everything, I forgive everybody.
You want to play a sample of it?
What?
You want to play a sample of it?
What?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sounds of Hell.
Sounds of Hell? You want to, go ahead.
You ready?
See, depending on what you do on earth, whatever you do on earth, you get it down there. Other words, you know, whatever it might be. If you commit suicide, guess what? You end up in a cell in hell waiting for Jesus to judge you. That's what I heard. I've seen that on a video, but I mean, I don't know what's true and what ain't, but, you know, but all these idiots that do all kinds of shit, murder and whatever, and they kill themselves, well, they just get there a little quicker. And those demons love to torture. They hate us, and they'll do anything. They know what it takes for you to get there. I mean, they know all about it. I mean, here I'm masturbating. I'm married to a man-hater, so I had sex with myself most of the time. Well, I didn't know it. God doesn't like that. He'll cast you into hell just for that. He's very picky who he accepts into his, you know, heaven or his family. And I mean, he's very picky. I mean, there's Christians and there's pastors down there. What I heard, there's famous celebrities are down there. I don't know. I even seen one guy end up in hell, and he's seen Hitler.
I'm out. I gotta change.